Hi guys, how you doing? Steve Buckley PT. I hope you're all doing well. So in this short video today, I wanted to answer a few of my most frequently asked questions I've been asked a lot over the years. I thought it might be quite helpful for you guys to answer those questions and give you my opinion on them. As always, I'm going to try and keep the answers really simple and easy for you guys to understand, and I hope you find it helpful. And if you do find it helpful, please share the information, please pass it on to your friends and family if you think that they might benefit from it as well. Okay guys, so the first question I get asked a lot and have been asked a lot over the years is how often should I change my training program? Now, every trainer will probably have a different answer for this, but in my opinion, I would say you really don't need to change your training program very much at all. You can really go a long period of time, I've talked about this in previous videos before, of the same training program, providing you're following the principle of progressive overload, you're making progress with that training program, you're seeing results. You don't feel like the training program's getting stale, so you're not getting bored of it, you feel excited about going into train, then you can stick to the same program for a good amount of time. You want to have a training program that is balanced, it targets the muscles in a balanced way, so you're not causing any imbalances in your body, but providing you've got a good training program, focusing around your compound lifts, and you're making progress, and you can just keep going with that program really for as long as you want. In my opinion, you can just keep using it providing you're making progress. The only time I would say that if you do feel like you want to change up a program is if it starts to get a bit stale, you stop losing your or you start to lose your enthusiasm for going into the gym and training. I'm talking really about sort of programs that are based around sort of muscle building and losing weight. I'm not talking about sport specific programs here, so really keeping it simple. But I would say if you're making progress, you're enjoying the program, you're excited about training, then you can keep going for months, and there's no reason to change it up. So question 2 is, do I need to do cardio in order to lose fat? And the answer is no, you don't. Providing you're in a deficit over time, you're going to lose fat, okay? But what I would say is don't underestimate the value of cardio. Cardiovascular health is extremely important. It's going to help you. If your goal is to build muscle, it's going to help you with that in terms of when you're doing things like your bigger compound movements. It's going to help you with your recovery in between sets and your recovery in between sessions. So cardiovascular health is very important. So I do recommend you do some kind of cardio, get your heart rate elevated in some way throughout the week regularly to really help you with your cardiovascular health, which will have a good carryover into your hypertrophy muscle building program. However, you don't need it to lose fat. But you will need to be more strict with your nutrition if you're not going to be doing cardio. Your cardio, obviously, you're going to be burning more calories with cardio. It's going to help you get into that deficit. But if you're not wanting to do as much cardio, then you're going to need to be more restrictive with your nutrition and really watch your nutrition in a more sort of detailed way. Question number 3 is, can I achieve fat loss and muscle building results without tracking my calories? I've talked about this again in previous videos about the importance I feel personally of tracking calories initially, especially if you're sort of new to training and new to lifting and new to fitness in general. I think tracking your calories is a really, really important tool, because what it does is it just gives you a really good understanding of your nutrition and the calories within certain foods. So I would definitely recommend if you're new to training that this is something that you do for a good few weeks just to get a good idea and a good understanding of nutrition. But after that point, once you've got a good understanding, then you can go more intuitive with your nutrition, and you're going to have a much better idea of what you're doing in that way. So then losing fat and building muscle will be a lot easier. Question number 4 is, do I need to train 4 or 5 days per week in order to build muscle effectively? And again, everybody's going to be different, and depending on where your level is and where you're starting out, then this isn't, in my opinion, again, isn't the case. So if you're just new to training, you're just starting out, then what you can get really good results training, 1, 2, 3 days per week. Providing you're following, again, a good training program, focusing around your compound lifts, your training intensity is where it needs to be, and you're following, progressive overload in the right way, then you can definitely make results and get good results in sort of 1, 2, 3 sessions a week. But as you become more advanced, you're training for longer, then you will really need to add in sort of an extra session or 2 just to increase the overall volume of your training and continuously get results. So question 5 is a question I get asked a lot by women, and that is, will I look bulky and masculine if I do weight training? And again, the answer is no, you won't. A lot of women tend to be put off by maybe images that they're seeing on social media. Some of these women that you see, they do look very big and bulky, and a lot of the time, if not all the time, these women are on performance enhancing drugs or the specific lighting that they're using or whatever the case may be to try and make them look bigger and more impressive. But that is not the norm. You're not going to look like that if you go to the gym and weight train. That's just not what happens, okay? So don't be put off by these images that you might see on social media. And really don't underestimate the value of strength training, of building muscles. It's extremely important, as well as the focusing on the cardio and working your cardiovascular health. As we age, it's really important to, for balanced health, to be strong, to build muscle, as well as working on the cardiovascular health for both men and for women. Question 6 is from people who don't like going to the gym. They say they don't like going to the gym, and can they still build muscle effectively? And the answer is yes, you can. You absolutely can. And again, I've done videos about this in the past, but providing your training intensity is right, providing you're training hard enough, providing you're still following the principle of progressive overload, then you absolutely can still build muscle at home from doing calisthenics, from doing bodyweight exercises, providing over time you're making those workouts more challenging over time. You need to be pushing yourself. I would say a lot, most of the time as well, if you're just doing bodyweight exercises, it becomes more important to train those exercises more closely to failure than if you're doing bigger compound lifts with weights in the gym. So what I mean by that is, if you're doing things like push-ups and pull-ups, then really trying to push those exercises with good form right to that last rep where you really feel that you can't do any more. That's going to make sure that you are using a high enough intensity level to force the muscle adaptation, force the muscle growth. So you absolutely can make progress without going to, without being a member of a gym or without training in a gym, but just focusing and making sure you really focus on the training intensity and making sure that you are trying to make your training and workouts harder over time by pushing yourself, by either increasing reps, or you can add load using rucksacks, or slowing the tempo down for those exercises. Whatever the case may be, really trying to make the exercises and the workouts harder over time, and making sure you're still following that principle of progressive overload, and you can still make perfect progress and make really good progress at home without being a member of a gym, without lifting weights. And finally, number 7 is a very common question, and that is, I've stalled with my fat loss, what should I do? Okay, and again, my opinion with this is going to vary with different trainers, but my opinion with this is that it's really important, number 1, that you remain patient, you stay patient, because it can be a process that can take time. I think it's really important as well that you don't drop your calories too low, and you keep cutting your calories down and down and down and down. You've got to really try and keep the calories within a reasonable deficit daily. And what by that, what I mean is, if you're tracking somewhere around the sort of 200 to 500 calorie deficit daily, I really wouldn't recommend you dropping below that 500 calorie deficit, because then you're talking about having problems with energy levels, possibly affecting your hormone levels, things like that. So it's really important you don't drop too low and in desperation trying to lose fat quicker and getting better results. Really important that you stay patient. The second thing I would say is again, I would go back and if you're not doing it, is track the calories again. Just have a few days just where you're sort of looking at what you're doing. You're maybe eating certain foods that you're not aware of how high the calories are in those foods. So really being aware of the calories in certain foods is massive, and you might find that there's certain foods that you're eating that you just weren't sure were that high in calories, and that's affecting your results. So again, I would recommend just having a couple of days, a few days, a week, just where you track your calories and just have a look at that again, and just make sure that you are in that sort of deficit number that you need to be daily. And again, another way you could do it here, or to help you with the results, is just increasing your movement. You've got to try and increase your movement to increase the energy output each day. So maybe trying to go for more walks, get more steps in. If you've got quite a sedentary position, quite a sedentary job throughout the day, then that can really have a big impact. So maybe trying to just move more, get out and move more throughout the day. Maybe try and increase like your weekend activities if you're spending a lot of time sitting down. Just trying to look at maybe your week as a whole and looking at ways that you can maybe increase your energy output throughout the day can have a massive impact. But really important that you stay patient. This can be a process, it can take time. Don't try and rush the process. Don't try and lose too much weight too quickly. I've always found from previous experience that people who lose weight really fast, a lot of weight really fast, tend to rebound and tend to go backwards. So I would much prefer losing weight really slowly, small amounts of weight really slowly over time, because that way it's going to be more sustainable for you. You're going to get the results, you're going to be able to sustain those results over time. So take your time with it, be patient, and if you're struggling to get the results, just have a look at the couple of things I've just mentioned. All right, that's it, guys. Those are the questions that have been asked a lot over the years, and I thought it might be helpful for you guys, so I hope you found it helpful today answering those questions. If you do have any other questions that you might want answered, I'm more than happy to help you, so please feel free to drop them down in the comment section, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I do hope you found it helpful. If you did, please don't forget to leave the video a thumbs up, because it really helps, and also to subscribe to the channel. And again, if you think you maybe have a family member or a friend who they might find this video helpful, then please share it as well. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care. Cheers.